So, Mark, whether it's a church or an organization, what does it mean to have a seat at the table?
I love that phrase. I use that all the time when I bring new people onto my team at work. A seat at the table, in my mind, comes with obligations, not just an invitation. And so when you get a seat at the table, I expect you to have a voice. You were invited because of who you are and what you're bringing, and I expect that you have something to offer, not just to fill a seat. Along with that, you have the opportunity to do something different, create something new, fail at something. Unless you're pushing an envelope, we're going to get the exact same thing we've always gotten. And so if I'm opening a seat at the table for somebody, I expect that we're going to do something different because of bringing somebody else into the team.
What would it, when that seat is there, what are ways that you kind of help combat failure and people not willing to share that seat at the table because fear of, stupid questions or the wrong
Right.
answers?
Really, I think some of that comes with just the familiarity of being part of the team, but I think a good portion of that just evolves from your leadership as you become more comfortable with, I'm here for a reason. I'm not just here filling the seat. I actually have a purpose on this team, and I wouldn't have been invited if I didn't have a purpose here. I know that with Ascension, we've had the opportunity to sit at a table and bring many people onto the table with us. We've had opportunities to do small gatherings, worship events, large gatherings. I know we've talked in the past about a conference that we did that birthed out of a time where we were growing tremendously and made a whole lot of friends at one point in time to pull them all together and be part of something big together. Tell me a little bit about the table that we sat around and the things that came about from us on that event.
Man, we've been in ministry together for quite some years, and
A couple decades.
so I think some of our favorite moments. We're sitting here filming this on a Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing Monday night meetings for probably 21 years,
Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah.
And my favorite memories came around that long table that we would invite.
Right.
Anyone that was a part of us had a seat at that table.
Right.
And I think sometimes we forget as leaders, like, your greatest feedback is the one you don't have.
Yeah.
So when you choose not to open up that floor, open up that table for honest feedback and maybe a different perspective. One thing that we were seeing early on from like some of the younger guys, because we were young too, but it's sometimes like the feedback and the perspective that by opening it up to your whole team allows you to see voids and blind spots that you didn't see as the leader.
Right.
And I remember that conference when we were getting into it. It's our first big one. And man, we invited everybody. We were like, man, this is going to be huge.
It was going to be our first paid event.
It was. Yeah.
It didn't turn out that way.
No. And we still didn't make money at it, like all of our events.
Right.
But, we thought, dude, there's no other way than to order extra chairs.
It was in a decent sized space that had plenty of chairs, probably 500 or so seats in it already. How many chairs did we order?
Man, we probably paid for probably 300, 400 additional seats.
I think it was 5.
All right, yeah, give or take a couple hundred.
How many did we unwrap?
we left them all wrapped still because we didn't need them.
Yep.
So what did you take away from that?
It was funny because from the outside looking in, it would be real easy to look and say that event was a failure. Supposed to be a paid event. We ended up making it free towards the last week or two of it. We brought in some pretty good name speakers, brought in Ballet Magnificat.
We did.
For a Saturday morning performance that they did. Mm-hmm. I don't know if performance is the word they would use, but that's what I'm going to call it. Yeah. We had all the extra chairs that we didn't even unwrap. But for Ascension coming out of that event, it was a tremendous growth spurt for us. We had made some great connections that helped us refocus what our purpose really was, I think. What did you take out of it?
Man, the relational value that came out of it. It actually propelled us into kind of our next chapter, which was actually getting us to a place where the events were not necessarily our main focus.
Yeah.
So here was this, climactic event that we thought was going to launch us into, whatever the future was going to hold.
Right.
Actually launched us into no events.
Right.
For a series of almost 10 years.
Right.
So, here are these, 500 chairs that was going to represent 500 additional people coming to this conference.
Yeah.
Ended up staying wrapped, but like God provided the next season of our ministry. So sometimes on the outside looking in looks like failure, but within us, God was preparing us for the next chapter.
Yeah. And it's funny because sometimes the success that we're looking for isn't the success that God's trying to take us through. And we went to a conference for a lot of years together, the Catalyst Conference in Atlanta, that was very transformational, I think, for everybody that we took up there, whether they went once or they went every year, like what you and I did for 7
years.
or 8. Yeah. As we were going to it, I know you and I both shared independently with each other that, we wanted to see Ascension get on that stage. We were growing, we had momentum, and it just seemed like, okay, God, you're building us to get us to that kind of a spot. And we shared that, kind of in some vulnerable moments between the two of us, that we wanted to attain that at some point. And it was funny because God opened the door for us both to get on that stage, but very differently than what we thought it was going to be. Tell me about how you got up there.
Oh, man, look, they put out a thing where they're going to do this opener, and anybody that, could play acoustic guitar, come on up. So I joined up with it, and there was probably over 100, worship leaders, musicians, and everybody played this certain part of the song that opened up the whole Catalyst conference. So,
which was cool.
Yeah.
And it got you on stage.
It did. Yeah. Not the way I thought, but
right.
And as Mark, what did you see?
It was the 10th year of Catalyst, and the title of the theme of the message of the conference that year was "Make Your Mark" with a big X on it. And so they came out on, I don't know, Thursday or Friday morning, into the crowd and just looked for people's name that were Mark. Brought in 10 of us and took us up on stage and had us dance in front of 14,000 people, which, if you know me, I do not dance. Very uncomfortable for me, but I made a mark. And then we got to bring birthday cake back to our section. And so I got on stage, not at all what I thought it was going to be, but, I find comedy in that, and that God was like, all right, you want to get on stage? I'll get you on stage. You're going to be a little uncomfortable when I do it, but I'm going to get you up there, and then I'm going to show you that it doesn't matter. And so it was enlightening to me to see, sometimes the success that God brings us into isn't the success we were looking for.